Hello. Bit of a thing on comments yesterday. I'm not going to read it. I think it was something Trick said that tripped something in me head. And he used that horrible word exponential. Said something about nothing's going to stop the exponential growth of robots and AI and all that sort of stuff. Whoosh. Something always does. Something always does stop the exponential rise in something. Always does. Because what happens is you get this exponential rise in something, if it ever exists, and it rarely does, but if it does, going up like this, if it's an important thing, it affects all the area around it to the extent that the circumstances, all the stuff around it, becomes affected in enough of a way that it then reacts and affects the exponential growth thing and stops it exponential growthing. I think that was good enough, wasn't it? As a thing, you don't get, basically, as an easy thing to say, you don't get continuous exponential growth of anything because it can never go on forever. It can't. It affects its exterior situation enough, if it's important, to the extent that the external will affect the exponential line going up to stop it going up. Repeat, done? Okay. And this is what we'll get with the rise of robots and AI. The world will be so affected by the exponential rise of AI and robots and computers and mechanical this, that, and the others, that it will stop it. What it'll be, we don't know, but what I think we can say with confidence is it will be something. If you think of it just kind of, the last one I read on the AI type thing, it was doctors. And it's not saying, I'm just catching up and that's what, but it just happened to be the last one I read. It was doctors, and the AI was going to knock out so many doctors because the computer is so much more efficient, and as long as a nurse type person or somebody with a bit of brainium can type in the right things, the computer can give quite frankly, a better diagnosis than the doctors. And in this article, it had some surgical procedures which are much better done by machines, etc., etc. You get the idea. And you will have read them about accountants and even lawyers and even the Wall Street investment people and all that sort of thing. Upper middle class types. So you've just got to think and try and imagine a future where AI has taken all this over, and you can't. What do you get? You get your doctors, or your Wall Street would have been doctors and Wall Street investment people, highly educated people, because what are we going to stop educating people now? There's always going to be those positions, right, in the corners, where highly educated people are going to take these top positions that will never be taken over by robots, whatever. President of the United States. Well, you get the idea, but there will always be people being educated for those things. And now we're saying that because of the exponential rise, there'll be this great swathe that don't quite make it to the super tops and are just lost in this great UBI swathe in the middle with everybody else. Well, bollocks, not a chance of it, is it? What, you're going to get your potential doctor and investment people living on UBI when you get your nigger who gets his UBI, but he's a nigger, so he takes the trash out, because somebody's always got to take the trash out. So he's going to get more spending tokens than the potential what would have been doctor. It's nonsense. The whole thing is nonsense. It defies any sort of natural logic. Basically, it ain't going to happen. The rocket is going to run out of steam, and it might not crash to the ground, but it's not going to hit the moon. No, it's just not going to. I mean, loads of things. You can think loads of things, even if it's the basic, I'm running out of battery, even if it's the most basic thing that you will have read, because it's the most obvious thing to say. Robots don't pay taxes, or robots don't buy goods. So you can't have it. You can't have robots making everything. And the whole thing does not make sense. So basically, it's going to run out of steam for one reason or another. Now, we can discuss what the reasons are and try and guess what they might be, why it's going to run out of steam. But one thing we can absolutely guarantee, if we can guarantee anything, is that it's going to run out of steam. And we are going to get what we can call more of the same. Wages are going to be floppy. There is going to be more AI and robots taking over, but not that much. And there's going to be people being educated to try and get the best jobs and being very disappointed when they don't get them, and having to settle for not taking the bins out, taking the trash out, but they'll have to do robot programming or something. They're not, it's basically, life's going to be a bit more blah, probably, but it's not going to be so blah that the external situation, like government, has to do anything radical about it, like introducing UBI. The external circumstances is going to stop the rise of the robots. Somehow, somewhere along the line, you can guarantee it. So in comments, if you want, you can introduce ideas about how it might happen. But what I'm saying is, it is going to happen. So all this will need it UBI because the robots will take everything over is never going to arise. So we're not going to get UBI because we're not going to get the robots taking over. It's going to be more bloody blah. Life, blah, blah, blah. Like it's been for thousands of years. It might look a bit clever out there, but it's not really that much difference as it was 10,000 years ago. Chip, chip.